So I'm with Sally today here at Life Fitness Management. We've been speaking off and on about unintended consequences of a health and fitness program at Life Fitness Management, and I spoke with Sally a little bit about this, and we're going to have a conversation, and I think it will be beneficial to everyone looking for and contemplating getting into health and fitness for a variety of reasons. This is a reason that maybe you didn't think about, but I can promise you it's a really good reason to start a program. So with that, Sally, I'm going to have you tell me what you're thinking.
Okay. Well, I've been coming here to Life Fitness for intensely probably 3 years now. And I try to get in here 3 days a week, and I thoroughly enjoy working out. I enjoy being physical. I enjoy weightlifting a whole lot, and I like to think that I don't necessarily shy away from what's presented to me here as far as ways to make me stronger physically.
What was the reason you came originally?
I was not feeling physical, and I missed the part of me that enjoys feeling physical, and it was shortly after the pandemic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember.
Yeah, and it was I felt lazy, and I couldn't get my momentum going. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was not for my budget, it was not necessarily going to be an inexpensive mm-hmm. commitment, but I decided at this point in my life, where else could my treasures go than to be taking care of me? Right. Because typically women are depended upon to take care of others a lot, and I think that if I'm not strong physically, then perhaps you're not as strong mentally either, mm-hmm. and to support those in your life.
Yeah. That's that's where I wanted you to go with it, because it was not necessarily the reason that you came here, which is the reason why we're having this conversation. So as you went through that 3 years later, a lot of things are different, I think,
yes,
in your fitness and in your feel and how you're feeling.
Yes.
And I know that you have some stuff going on, and one of the unintended consequences of your fitness program is your ability to go forward with what you're talking about. Now, I know this is a difficult conversation, but
yes.
I think it's worthwhile putting out there. So
yes.
I'm going to give you the floor. Tell me what you're thinking.
So recently, within the last month, my 43-year-old son was told that he has stage 4 renal cell carcinoma, also known as kidney cancer. It's stage 4 because it has metastasized beyond the lymph nodes and into other organs. Specifically for him, it's in his bones, and it's pretty much throughout his skeleton. And when you hear that word cancer, it strikes a chord of fear. And I like to do research, and when I heard this prognosis, or diagnosis, I should say, I did some research and saw that life expectancy for someone in that situation, a medical situation, can be anywhere from 6 months to 4 years. And the floor just dropped out from underneath me, and I sobbed uncontrollably and thought, oh my goodness, his birthday is this month, and it might be the last birthday we have with him. And I was uncontrollable for a while, and I called some friends. Excuse me. I'm a real believer of the power of prayer.
Amen.
Wanted to get the word out to others to help us pray. My son wasn't quite ready for that yet, mm-hmm. but he at his work, he worked at HRDC in Cumberland, and his work, he needed to stop work. He's in a lot of pain. He moves with some difficulty. At his work, they decided to do a spaghetti benefit dinner for him. And the community has just been extraordinarily generous with the gifts that they are giving to him. Well, that made it public then.
Yeah.
So now it's a very public spotlight on the Boozer family.
Okay.
And it's humbling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in the meantime, Garrett has a 9-month-old child, and he and his fiancee wanted to get married before he started any potential treatment. We didn't know at that point what treatment was going to be, and it's not a fun place to be waiting to find out what's next. And in the back of your mind, that life expectancy question keeps coming up, and I fought to live in the present moment because God is in control. And if I sat down and did nothing for a while, then that kind of made my mind just wander to the what ifs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always a pleasant place to be.
Right.
And we did eventually get a treatment plan for him, which will include about 2 years of chemo
Mm-hmm.
and infusions. And so we have a direction. But through all of that, I had an epiphany that I think I might be stronger than I imagined I was, and
I'm quite sure that you are.
probably.
I get to sit here and have this conversation and hold back the tears, which I know you're feeling, and
Yes,
myself
yes,
as well,
yes,
because
yes.
they are difficult. But the strength that you have internally is amazing.
I've been upheld with so much support, and I'm also a believer in hugs. I think that when people hug, it allows the hugger to take some of the weight away from the person who's suffering, and it allows that person to contribute to the well-being of the person who is hurting. But the epiphany for me was that in the gym, I have overcome a lot of obstacles. When I came in here 3 years ago, the scale was the all-important. And that scale, I'd still like to kick out the window because it doesn't please me much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering what I feel is a pretty good effort on my part
A very good effort.
when I'm here.
Correct.
And to see that scale not moving, again, I just want to kick it. But the other strengths that I have seen, the other changes I have seen in my physical, my body for one thing, my physical shape, has been rewarding. And the other aspect, the unintended consequence that I have received from this whole process is that I know how to be strong physically. I know how to overcome the challenges that I have here. And that has so carried over into a sense of being strong mentally and emotionally as well. It's not always perfect,
No,
not
it's
in
not.
the gym or emotionally or mentally,
Yep.
but it has at least been an epiphany for me.
Well, we talked about before we started to have our conversation here about how the roller coaster up and down, up and down, up and down, and an unintended consequence of doing hard things consistently is that you recognize that you're able to do hard things and achieve them. And you have hard things ahead of you.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
I'm not in any way, shape, or form thinking that all of the training that you did in the gym to get to this point is going to set you up for success forward, but it will definitely be a process of that. And it makes you feel stronger because you've accomplished a great deal since you've come in here. and you've got over hurdles that were your hurdles. Now you're going to be going over hurdles that are yours and your family's hurdles. And I think the unintended consequence of that is that you feel like you have the tools.
Indeed.
You have the tools to succeed, and I believe 100% that you will do that. And I know that we as a community here at Life Fitness, we're right there with you.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I will still be coming back here to the gym regularly, and I need it, and I feel the need to be here. I am now feeling the need to continue to be physical, and Life Fitness is part of my support system. And I didn't hesitate at all to tell people here, look, this is something that I'm going through, and I appreciate the literal and figurative support that I get here.
You know, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the story, because I think there are people out there that will appreciate it, and I think the amount of strength that you're showing says that we have done our part to prepare you, and we'll continue to be that support for you. And the unintended consequence of all of this stuff is that you're stronger today than you were yesterday.
The beast.
And the beast.
The beast.
Absolutely, you are the beast, and I really appreciate that. Not to belittle the power of prayer. I'm very
absolutely.
huge in the faith as well. But that's all part of a community, and I think we are all on board with you. We're all right there with you, and we'll continue to work forward. And I will look forward to seeing you, and I will give you a hug, because we will go forward in this. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So an unintended consequence of a good health and fitness program is you have a community of people like Sally that will hold you up when you need held up. And we will hold her up whenever she needs held up, and we'll go forward in that. So I appreciate you listening.